Hey there, I'm Meg, and in this video, I'm going to give you a tour on the back end of Flodesk. Now, if you're not sure what Flodesk is, or you're on the fence of whether or not you want to switch to Flodesk, which is an email newsletter software, be sure to check out my video on the 5 reasons why I use Flodesk. I've linked to it down below. Okay, so let's dive into our tour. So in order to log into Flodesk, all you have to do is type in flodesk.com in your URL. You don't need to type anything else, just flodesk.com. And then click login in the upper right and you'll be brought to this window. So enter your login credentials. Wait patiently as it loads. And the first screen that you're brought to is your emails, which shows all of your recent emails. Now, these are emails that I've created and have either sent or scheduled. So as you can see, this one is my next scheduled email, and then anything in black has already been sent. And draft emails tend to have a white background, and it would say draft. These are my email names. I'll show you. I have a system here. So what I do is I title my email the list name, which is in this case business and marketing, and then the month, and then newsletter, and then 1. So the next time I make one for March, it would be newsletter 2, and then 3, and then 4, and so on. Now, sometimes I'll send out an extra newsletter. Let's say it's a sale reminder, then I would change newsletter to reminder. So that just helps me keep everything organized and know what's being sent when and in what order, because sometimes it tends to get a little jumbled here. Sometimes the emails aren't always put in order of when they are sent. So before we move on, I just wanted to point out while we're on this little thumbnail here, if you click on this chart icon, it's the analytics. So if you click that, it brings up your general analytics, and then you can see details here. So we're going to X out of that. And then as I kind of showed you before, if you click on the ellipsis in the upper right, this allows you to view the email in your browser, get the shareable link so you can share it on social media. You can also resend the email to unopened, so to people who did not open your email. You can duplicate the email, which is a super snazzy trick to save time. If you have let's say when I send out my YouTube tutorials, I have one email that I like to duplicate because it's all set up. I just change out the information and I'm good to go. And then you can also organize your emails by folders. I don't really think it's necessary. And then here is where you rename. Now note you don't have those options here. Actually, you do have those options here. Now over here, you'll notice that we can click edit. Whereas over here, it's view results. That's because this email has been sent and this one has not. Now, because this is scheduled, when we click edit, it's going to ask if you want to unschedule the email. So we're going to click yes, unschedule. I'm just going to show you the gist of how an email looks. So Flodesk works on the block system, which means everything you see here is a block. We have an image block, a text block. This is a video block. You cannot embed videos directly into Flodesk. They have to come from YouTube or Vimeo. This is a button block, and then so on and so forth. So you can easily click, hold, and drag your blocks around, or you can click the plus and you can add from any of these options. I like dividers and spacers to obviously add spacing in between the blocks. And then Instagram inputs your recent feed, which it's not popping up now because it's a preview, but it's actually a really cool feature that I enjoy. And one more thing we're going to demonstrate is layouts. So these are basically graphics, and this is what is so fantastic about Flodesk is you have all of these incredible options. So you just choose one that you like, and then you can highlight the text, you can edit the font, the size, the font color, and what's snazzy about font colors on the back end, if you input your branding colors will show up right here. You have the alignment, you can change to caps, and spacing is also super handy. You can adjust the line height and the letter spacing. And then this layout, if you click layout, it's where you can change your layout. You can link it, link the layout that is. And then sometimes you have block edits depending on what the layout is. In this case, it's background color. Oh, which it actually doesn't do, so it's kind of like a back and forth thing. I haven't used this block before, so don't judge me. Okay, so we're just gonna delete that. And that's basically the gist of emails. You can send yourself a test email by clicking the paper airplane icon, and then you can save to favorites, which is another way to kind of make a template out of this, but I like my duplicate method. What's also snazzy is you can preview this for desktop, and you can also preview it for mobile. And it automatically adjusts to the screen size. So we're going to click back to editing. So let's say you are ready to go. You've tested the links in your email. So always send yourself a test email so you can test those links. You're going to click next. And it's just going to verify that this is the name, that this is the from name and the from email. You're going to add your subject line and then some preview text. And this is where you choose your list. You can send this to numerous lists. On Flodesk, a list is called a segment. So I'm sending it to my business marketing e-newsletter segment. And then you can either send it now or you can schedule for later. I always like to schedule my emails about a month in advance. I'm a little behind. So we're just going to click schedule. And boom. So that is a super quick, easy way of how to create an email, but I already have emails created. Let's say you're starting from scratch. All you have to do is click new email in the upper right, and sometimes I go here if I want to try a different template. And you can browse all templates by scrolling down, or you can choose from a specific goal, which is awesome. It's a really great way of how they organize it. So you would choose, let's say we're going to choose this one. Kind of gives you a little bit of information about the purpose of this email. Then you're going to customize. And note, this is a logo block, and it automatically inputs my image from the branding. And here is where you upload your photos. And then you can edit the text to your branding, adjust the text, basically just like any other type of software system. So one thing about templates is you're not locked into that format. So let's say you didn't like this, you can just delete it. Whereas other newsletter softwares like MailChimp, if you choose a template, you can't deviate from the format of that template. On Flodesk, it's completely customizable. So you can end up choosing one template and then having it look completely different. So sometimes if I see two templates that I love, I'll choose one of them, the one that has the most elements that I love, and then I'll just add in the elements from the other one. And typically those are under layout, so it's really easy. So I'm just going to click the F, and whenever you click the F, the Flodesk logo, it brings you back to the main dashboard, which is your emails. And I'm just going to delete that. Because I've been using Flodesk for over a year now, I try not to use new templates. I like to reuse the ones that I have because then I don't have to redo the branding on everything. So you'll notice that on the template we were just at, you'd have to change all the fonts, all the colors. It's not automatically set to your branding. But I mean, it's easy to change. It's just time consuming and I'm lazy. So I copy emails that I already have, unless I want to do something completely different. So before we move on to these elements, I want to point out the back end, the branding on the back end. So you can see your logo in the upper right. You're going to head on down to branding. This is where you upload your logo. This is where you add your brand colors, your company details, and this is where you add your social links. And you can have this on or off. I'm going to turn mine off. And then there are some other options too, like, the overview of your account and email setup. We saw this when we were scheduling the email, but this is where you edit the default. Your domain setup basically verifies your domain. It basically reduces spam. This is where you do the double opt-in. I haven't really dived into integrations, but if you have Shopify or Zapier or anything like that, this is where you do it. Plan and billing, this is your billing info. And Share Flodesk is pretty neat. This is where you get your affiliate link. So if you haven't signed up for Flodesk, be sure to use my affiliate link down below to get 50% off. Then when you create your Flodesk account, you'll also have an affiliate link that you can share. And whenever somebody subscribes, you get $19. So $19 for every person who subscribes. And that's $19 once, not monthly, but still it's pretty cool. So we're going to head back to the main dashboard. And now we are going to venture into forms. This is how you get people to sign up for your list. So if you click new form, you can see the different templates that they have. These are pop-ups. This is a banner that you have in a footer, like the footer of your website. And this is something that you might have on a website page. It's embedded on the website. So it's not a pop-up. And this is a full page form, which means that it takes up the full page. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back because I already have some forms established. So this one is white because the footer of my website is pink, so I want it to show up. So this is my footer opt-in, and I name the form. I basically have one list right now, so I just name the form kind of the gist of it. So this is how I name my freebie. So I have a Business 101 course that is, it serves as a lead magnet. So this is on the footer page of my entire website. And then this is the pop-up. So when somebody signs up for Business 101, they automatically get access to the course, and then they are added to my email list. And then some of these are old. These were some of my other lead magnets. This one I actually have on the Business 101 page itself. My marketing checklist. I used to have that in the footer of my website. Now I actually have it on the marketing checklist opt-in page. So you can just kind of see the gist. These were some inline forms, which means that these showed up on actual pages. And we'll just kind of go through the look of a form. How you edit a form is very similar to how you edit an email. It's pretty intuitive, as Flodesk would say. So once you get the form to your liking, you're going to click Next. I don't have double opt-in. I know I should someday. And then for pop-up specifically, you choose when you want the pop-up to appear. And I like to not annoy people, so I usually click No if they've already subscribed. Because if they've already subscribed, they're done. I don't need to be notified every time somebody signs up for my email list. If you like to celebrate throughout the day, then by all means do. And then this is what happens after somebody submits your form. So after they subscribe to your newsletter list, you can either display a success message like, "Thank you so much for signing up for my newsletter list. Keep tabs on your inbox for your freebie or your first newsletter," or whatever. I redirect to a specific URL depending on what type of form it is. So for my Business 101 class, whenever somebody fills out the form and signs up for the class, they're redirected to a page on my website that explains how to access the course itself. So you would just copy that link from your actual website page. So this is where it can get a little bit sticky, but take a deep breath. You've got this. You're basically going to copy this code, and then you're going to go to the section of your website outlined here to paste it in. So some forms also require inline code, so you have to copy and paste 2 lines of code into 2 different places. It's not as difficult as it sounds. Flodesk has a lot of tutorials on how to do this. Basically, just Google Flodesk embed forms, Squarespace, or WordPress, whatever website platform you use. But you've got this. You can do it. It's not that difficult. So going back to Flodesk, that about covers it for forms. So we're going to go to workflows, which is the Flodesk term for automations. And it's pretty standard. It's pretty easy to follow. I'll just show you an example of my workflows. Now, all of my online courses live on my website, which means that when you enroll in one of my courses, all the content is delivered right on my website. You get a login and all that jazz. That was, I did that recently because Squarespace introduced their member spaces. But before that, I ended up having my courses send through Flodesk. So I had automation. So you can see Course Marketing 101, Digital Photography 101. So when somebody signed up for one of these courses, I'd add their email to my list for the course that they signed up for, and they'd automatically get the content. So I'll just show you my welcome sequence for my business and marketing newsletter list. So as always, we have to pause, wait patiently. Yeah, they have fun sayings. Okay, so here we are. Basically, this is the trigger. It's the action that someone takes to get dropped into this workflow. So in this case, a subscriber is added to the business and marketing e-newsletter segment or list. So as soon as that happens, they are sent this first email, which is the welcome, let's make your entrepreneurial dreams come true email. And then there's a time delay. So in 3 days, they'll be sent this second email. And then that's all I have for now. I had 3 emails. I'm still kind of fleshing out my workflow, but for now I just have 2. So how you edit it is basically the same as the standard email. Looks just like an email. Just edit it as you would. I'm going to click back because I didn't make any changes. If you did, you would click finish. So if I want to add another email, I'd click this plus, and I could immediately send another email, which means that basically 2 emails would send at once. We don't want to do that, so you want to do a time delay. Or condition is something that I want to dive deeper in, but let's say somebody did something on your email, like if they clicked something, then they would go here. If they didn't click something, then they would go here. So you would choose the type of email depending on where they clicked. Yeah, workflows can be pretty intense, so that's why mine isn't fully complete yet. And then action is also something I haven't really dived into, but you can remove them from the workflow at the end, or you can add them to a different segment. Or if you just want to keep on sending emails in a workflow like what I have, you would choose that time delay. And then once your workflow is done, you'll click publish and verify that you mean it. And you're good to go. So I'm not going to show you audience because as soon as you click audience, a bunch of email addresses pop up. It basically shows your entire contact list. So all of your segments are funneled into here. So what I'm going to show you is how it looks beyond that. Okay, so here we are under audience. Like I said, it automatically defaults you to all subscribers where it shows you every single email address, and I don't want to share people's personal information because that's not nice. So I clicked over to segments, and this shows you your different lists. So my main list is the business and marketing list, which I have a lot of lists, so it's at the bottom here. You can see I also have a few other lists, but I mainly just send to this list. You have my courses here, and if you click view, then you can see everybody who's on that list. And I'm going to join you in the next window. I subscribe to my own newsletter so I can, see it, make sure it goes through and all that. So I'm going to show you the analytics on my basically my subscription analytics. Okay, that doesn't make sense, but I'll join you in the next window. Okay, so here we are. This is how analytics look for a subscriber. Now, we kind of alluded to the per email analytics earlier. I'm not going to dive too deep into those because then it shows you specifically who opened your email. And again, I don't want to share people's private information, but it's very self-explanatory. And you can see how many emails have been delivered, how many have been open. I don't quite understand why there's a difference here.
and how many total clicks, unique clicks. So let's say that if somebody clicks on the same link twice, that counts as total clicks, but unique clicks, it's 1. You can see their lifetime open rate and click rate, and open by device. So I always open emails on desktop. You can see 0 on mobile. And then you can see what segments they're on. You can see their last activity. You can see how they subscribed. Unfortunately, you can't see specifically what form, but their Flodesk is working on changing that. You can see when they subscribed. You can add notes if you want. You can add a custom field if you want. That's pretty much the gist of it.
Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to Flodesk already, be sure to use my affiliate code MissMegabug, which means you will get your subscription for 50% off. So just $19 a month, you'll have unlimited subscribers and you can send unlimited emails. And if you're looking to learn even more about email marketing, check out my Expand with Email online course. Now this course dives into how to grow your email list, what you should send in an email, and how to make money with your emails. I've linked to it down below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for even more tutorials, and I'll see you in the next video.